Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Glass City Podcast here at the CMB Studios with me, your host, Cowboy Mark. And today we got ourselves a special guest. We've got none other than Tim Stahl, owner of Papa's Tavern. Well, half the owner. Lisa Stahl is the one that controls you, which you control the bar, right? Is that
Very
how that
true.
works out?
Very true.
All right. We do want to thank everybody for tuning in, those of you that are going to be out there today. And we will have this live feed going, so if they have questions, they're going to be able to ask you.
Absolutely.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's go ahead and start from the beginning. You were born.
Well, I was born. I was. I spent a lot of years in the retail business, food industry. Luckily, with my background in the retail industry, I learned a lot about business, small business, how to run. And that kind of gave me a foothold on what I'm doing. I own a bar, and owning a bar, you're in charge of your whole thing, everything, bills, overhead, employees, all that. And luckily with the experience that I've had, over the 11 years, I was able to, put a foothold on, and, be able to fluctuate, our different costs and stuff like that. And, I just decided one day to take a chance and open up
All
a
right,
bar.
hold on a second,
All right.
folks. We got a little bit of technical
Little air.
difficulty. Yeah, like I said before, we are live and anything and everything will happen in this studio. We have
Sorry.
ghosts. No, it's all good. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Thank God. So why a bar?
So, yeah.
With the food industry background, why not a restaurant? Why not something, a store, or what pushed you towards an actual bar?
Well, that's the weird thing is, actually, when I had the financial ability to open up my own business, a bar was the last thing not in mind at all whatsoever. Actually, I was looking more in my line of computers. Technology at that time was just up and coming with the internet, all the advances in technology. That's my goal. That's what I was going to do. But it just didn't happen. I was sitting at a bar called The Mutts. It's underneath the Oliver House.
Mhm.
And me and my buddy Leroy Garcia were sitting there, and we're just having a beer, just shooting some pool and stuff like that. And he's a very wise person, and we sat and talked, and he's like, hey, why don't you think about a bar? He goes, they're inexpensive, to buy, and, you know how to run businesses, so why would you not look at, seeing about a bar? I said, you know what, that's actually an idea. So I looked around, and I wanted to stay on the east side. I love the east side.
Right.
That's where my heart and my home's always been. And I just started looking around, and hey, if you can run a Marco's Pizza, why can't you run a Papa's Tavern? It's basically the same philosophy. You got to buy cheese at a pizzeria. You got to buy beer at a bar.
Well, but with the bar, you have more patrons that are there all the time. You have other issues you have to overcome.
Very true.
Then you have your staff. Now, I personally know your staff is one of the best in the city of Toledo.
Yeah.
I've worked with them, being a musician, being an entertainer for your establishment. How did that fall together once you purchased the bar? How did you get your staff?
That's the nice thing about my staff is, hands down, I have to have the most veteran staff of any bar in Toledo, period.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my newest hire, Wendy, has been with me for almost 9 years.
Right.
And when that's your newest hire, 9 years, I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, Dee Dee's been there for almost 11, and Lisa and Debbie have actually been there longer than I've owned the bar. They were staffed and employed, before I purchased the bar.
Okay.
So when you got two girls that have been there 17, 18 years, and you've only owned it 13 years this month, that's saying something about your staff. It's nice. You don't have to worry about, theft, the girls over-ringing, over-pouring. They're so experienced. It's nice to have a veteran crew that you can just walk away and let the whole thing go for the day and, know that they're going to handle it, without a doubt.
We just had the wife walk by. Like I said, being a home studio, anything will happen.
That's
so
true.
That's cool. And that's what I like about the atmosphere is.
Yeah, it's just friendly. It's nice.
And hopefully you're comfortable. I know you walked in today and you were, I don't know what to do. No, you got to sit on your ass and you got to talk to me. That's all you got to do.
It was a little nervous. I've never did a podcast, but I do appreciate you having it on here, and I really hope that everybody checks this out because it's something great for Toledo. It really is.
That's the whole thing. There's a lot of media outlets, but most of which you have to pay to get yourself out there.
Yeah.
And being a musician, being out there in the early years of my career, going bar to club to club, and trying to basically sell my band or the band I was working with. It's not easy.
No, I get roughly probably 10 to 15 bands, artists, entertainers per week. Right. Wanting to get a gig, wanting shows, wanting to know what I have open and available. And I understand musicians totally. There's
Right.
definitely more musicians than there are bars to
Now,
play
what's really nice about your establishment is you essentially try not to turn anybody away, whether
Yeah.
you know them or not. It's not that way with every
at. No.
place that's out there, and that's what we're trying to do here with this show is let a potential establishment see a particular group that may be new, that are just up and coming. They can view them on the show. Last week we had IMO, and they did an acoustic set. We're going to expand with that. Behind you, as you walked through, you saw the band room.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's going to be set up for these bands to play live.
Yeah.
It can be like a live audition for a place such as yours or anywhere else that they may want to play. There's nowhere else to do that.
No, there's
No
not.
one else does that.
And it's ironic that you said that because I was thinking on the way here that how a lot of venues don't, or for whatever reason, don't like to book the younger artists,
Correct.
the more up and coming. For instance, this Saturday, I have a couple young people, Ben in Orlando, and these guys are maybe mid-20s, and they haven't been playing the music scene for a whole long time. Ben's been doing it for a little while, but you know, bar owners I think are afraid that they're not
Take
going to
that
get
chance.
the you know, the quality of what
Right.
from veterans. You know, I have Bobby May who's up there about
Right.
the 70-year-old range. But to go from having a Bobby May on a Wednesday night up in his 70s to going to Orlando and Ben in their 20s, that's what I want. The diversity of a, you know, artist. You know,
And
mix it
that's
all
that's
over.
what I love about your establishment. When I first got in there doing DJ work and became a part of the family, I could see even back then the things you were doing, and then working with you over the years with sound and different
Yeah.
things, how we work. I like the fact you give them the chance, and I wish more places were more open-minded like you.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
a lot of artists have grown and
They,
expanded their.
I understand they want to make. They're there to make money. That's
Absolutely.
what that's your business. You're
Yeah.
there to make money.
Absolutely.
However, give them, tell them like, okay, you're new. We can't give you the full rate, maybe,
Yeah.
but let's get your feet wet. Let's get you in here.
That's
I
usually
like
pretty much what I do is I'll give them, you know, they come in and show yourself, you know. 'Cause
right.
You know as well as I do when you first started out, playing downstairs and practicing in the basement is way different than being live in front of, you know,
Absolutely.
50, 75 people at Papa's. It's a lot
Absolutely.
different.
And again, taking from that experience is why we created this show, is to give those people a chance. Give
Yeah.
bar owners like you a chance to go online. They hear about a band. Someone's talking about it. Well, what do they like? Well, here you go. You can see them basically in person. You can, I talk with them. I try to get their history and things like that. And we can give you that
Yeah.
information.
And you never know when you're going to grab onto just a really great band. I mean, I've had bands that came in there that were supposed to be really great and they weren't. They weren't all that great.
Mine. No, I'm just
I've had bands that came in there and they were just, I'm like, wow, I'm just blown away. At
And you'd
how
never heard of 'em.
fabulous- Never heard of them.
Never
We
heard
had Piggyback Jones a couple weeks ago. I never heard of them. I actually found them at Walmart.
Oh, wow.
Their mom worked at Walmart and I took a chance. You know, I didn't know what they were. And I was like, just blown away. Fifth Ace with their new singer. Wow.
Sir Michael Devin Barlows.
Wow. What a voice. I mean, just unbelievable. You know, his ability to not only sing, play keyboards, to do it all and mix in with, you know,
Played
them guys.
drums.
Drums.
Played the drums.
I mean, just phenomenal, you know. And Fifth Ace has been with me quite a bit, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. In fact, that's where I met them. Is
Yeah.
through Papa Palooza,
Yeah.
the annual party. I was running sound and met the guys, and since that day, I was just there the other night, running sound for them.
Yeah.
It's one of the bands that I like to support. There's others, many others.
Oh, many other.
Bobby May, I like throwing his name out there as much as possible. Bobby May.
Well, he's like one of the godfathers of music in the Toledo area. I mean,
Going through these interviews and talking with bands, I am finding more and more guitar players and even bass players have studied under Bobby May in his instructions. And it's citywide,
Yeah.
people you wouldn't think have worked with him
Yeah.
in one capacity or another. So
Well, he's such an easygoing guy. I mean, I'm sure anything that he does as far as teaching or anything like that,
Mhm.
if it's anything like he does up on stage, he can bring anybody up there and work with them literally live on
Right.
the stage, and they can get in tune. You know,
That's
he'll
what I
play
love about-
lower to them or higher, either
yeah,
way.
I love about your open mic nights or
Yeah.
your sessions with either Bobby May or Buzz and
Yeah.
Tina Lee. I think also does one
Yeah, she
for
does.
you. All phenomenal artists, all have their own unique style, and then to bring in outside entertainment with them, just somebody randomly coming in is the greatest thing ever. It's big down in Georgia. I'm glad to see that you're doing it here and trying to open that door even more, which then you can, again, find
that's how
more
you find
artists.
artists and entertainers.
Yep.
And it's fabulous that, Buzz Anderson and Bobby May, every Thursday they rotate and do
Right.
open jams, but to see Buzz get up there and, he plays more of the funky blues
Right.
kind of riffs and stuff, but then to see a 80s rock band, him come off stage and put up an 80s rock band, and then you get another solo acoustic guy coming up there, and it's just, you can cover all genres of music in one night.
Which is cool.
And anybody's welcome. The amps, the drums, everything's there.
Yep.
Buzz will put you on the list. Bobby will put you on the list, and you get up there, you jam. Maybe you play guitar with him. Maybe you play with somebody else, a bass player
Right.
over here. It's just amazing how you artists can just all form and play together.
It is cool. Speaking of artists, we had a particular artist come through your establishment.
Yeah.
How did that get started with Crystal Bauer socks?
That was a very interesting, about a little over a year endeavor that we went through, and it was phenomenal. Originally, she didn't want to do it. It wasn't the thing that she wanted to do. It wasn't American Idol, because Crystal was more of a laid-back, just a Papa's player. She just wanted to come in and enjoy the music, and that's what she enjoyed doing, just playing her music. She didn't like the limelight, the spotlight, the whole persona of, Crystal.
Right.
But, Bobby and Ron Raspberry talked her into just giving it a shot. Why not? Take a chance, And then she went and she got her golden ticket for Hollywood, and
Right.
that was great. But you got to remember, American Idol, there's a lot of
Right.
artists. I'm talking thousands of people that try out. And then as she went further and further along, we're like, wow, this is really going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would have our watch parties, and, we would have 75 people in there just to watch TV.
Right.
And then, as she went further and further along, made the top 10, we're like, wow, this is amazing. This girl literally on Wednesday nights, taco nights, would sit there from 6 to 10 and just play her guitar, and that was the thing. We just sat and watched Crystal, and now all of a sudden, she's on American Idol top 10.
Right.
And then as it went further and further along, then they did the hometown visit, and I had to keep it extremely down low. No one was literally allowed to know. And that was American Idol had called me and told me, hey, we're going to stop by. But
Okay.
I think everybody pretty much kind of had a feeling that was going to happen.
Anticipated it. Yeah.
There was 300 people outside and, max capacity inside. And it was phenomenal just for her to stop back for that. She did 2 or 3 songs with Bobby and Raz.
Right.
And Raz's sons were there playing. And, it was phenomenal for her to take the time and want to come back to where she had played before.
Right.
And, it was great. And I'm so proud of what she's did. She's accomplished so much and continuing. And a lot of people go, oh, well, you've lost, Crystal to Nashville and to the road.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Sean Williams is another entertainer who's in Nashville right now.
Yep.
I didn't lose him to Nashville. He played at Papa's every Wednesday. And, that's what happens. Dominique Hutchinson, she's in Nashville doing her thing. That's fine. I want my artists to succeed.
And what's cool about Papa's, it's a nice little neighborhood bar. And when I first started playing there and stuff like that, everyone treated me like I'd been there for years and years and years. It's a wonderful feeling to walk in and everyone just says, hi.
Yeah.
How you doing? Where you been?
Yeah, we have an extremely diverse crowd. I mean, we just
very.
We just have every age group, ethnicity, just across the board, and everybody can just come and have fun.
And that's what it has to be about, is the have fun. So, speaking of having fun at your place, you do your own little thing that you've started over the last couple of years.
That was a lot to do with
It wouldn't have to be Mr. DJ Mystery, is it?
That's what I've heard. I cannot confirm or deny, but yeah, I knew this really good karaoke DJ artist, and he kind of gave me a few pointers here and there. And over the couple last 2-3 years, I've picked up on a few tidbits. So yeah, DJ Mystery comes in every once in a while. Actually, he'll be there in a couple weeks, and he'll be doing a show, and it's fun. I love it. I love it because I'm a lot like what Cowboy Mark is, and just on the mic, just having fun. Anybody can do karaoke, anybody can DJ. It's
pretty much
persona that you bring to the stage. You're an entertainer. You're not just a DJ
thank you.
or KJ.
Thank you.
And when you get up there, you look around, and if somebody's just not into it, you're gonna get them into it. That's what it's about.
And one of the things you learn is you always have, not quite a plant, but you have that one particular individual you know real well, and you start picking on them in a fun way.
Yeah.
It draws the attention of the rest of the people.
Absolutely.
Now they're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then you can keep the music going, and and like with me with karaoke, getting the singers, and we have a lot of actually phenomenal singers that come through, but that's all they do. They do the karaoke. They
enjoy it. It's their time to be on the stage, and with the way you bring them up on the stage, and even after they're done, it just makes them feel good. It's fun. They're having a good time. That's what it's all about.
It's about them.
Yeah.
And of course, the more fun they're having, the more fun everybody has, and it just keeps building and building and building. What are things that you're looking to do in the future here? Things that you maybe have on a back burner and it's been in the back of your mind. Let's pick that brain a little bit and get an insight of the direction you want to continue to build as you go along with Papa's Tavern here. We're going on, 13 years?
Yeah, this month will be 13 years.
And I've seen what it was like when it started, in the middle, and now.
Well, one of the first bands that I actually hired myself that wasn't already playing there was a really good band at the time called Man About Town. And that was 13 years ago, and I'm sure you know the gentleman who played in that.
I may know.
That was 13 years ago. I
may know a few of them guys still.
Yeah, and that's amazing that after 13 years we still got this going on. But no, I have stuff in the works. I love people can drink anywhere.
Well,
they can drink anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to let them have a reason to come to Papa's and to enjoy things. So I always have events, and I do new events and stuff like that. So I do have some newer stuff in the works.
You have some that are in the works that you're.
We just did our Christmas in July party, which was that's the first time in 13 years I've ever had one, and it was phenomenal. It was great. Everybody had fun.
Yep.
I was out there in that little Santa suit, and it was kind of weird, but
yeah, it was.
We had fun. I'm very open, and it was a great time. But we had our anniversary party coming up with Mosfina,
right?
Who is just a phenomenal band in Toledo.
They've been around for quite a while, so they've got
Citadel. He's a great entertainer, and it's going to be a huge event. And Papa Palooza's off the hook.
I actually look forward to that every year, being that not necessarily the forefront. I mean, the band that I'm in has played, obviously, Papa Palooza, but I like the other thing I do, the running the sound and doing what I can for the bands that come in. And
it's awesome the way you can just fluctuate from, we go from solo artists to, we've had, as many as 13 artists and bands playing at Papa's in one day.
Yeah.
Outside, inside, and to work sound to do 2 different stages basically at the same time. It's a lot of work, but people love it. It's one of them events that's phenomenal. We do our Black Friday party, to get ready for the holidays. But yeah, I've got some more stuff coming up for 2020, and we'll have to wait and see.
A few secrets here and there.
A few little secrets here and there. I think we're gonna have some more events and.
Now, what's nice about what you're doing too is you've basically got some kind of a theme deal or something going on almost every single day of the week.
Yeah.
It's not just Friday. It's not just Saturday, but we've got Sunday. You got the
Bloody Mary Bar.
Bloody Mary Bar.
Bloody Mary Bar. Debbie May does a phenomenal job. I mean, that girl's got a whole smorgasbord of stuff that you just make your own creation and get it going. I like to have something going to give people a reason every single day. Of this is why I want to go to Papa's. They got this going on. They got that going on. That's what makes bars.
And then Wednesday is the Gary Steak Dinner?
Yeah. Well, Thursday is Gary's Steak Dinner.
Thursday. Wednesday is the...
Tuesday is Gary's Meal. And we always have our Adam Sorrell, who's a great musician. He plays there every Tuesday night, and he's very, very crowd appealing. His variety of music just ranges so deep. And he's been doing a phenomenal job. Wednesdays, we got Bobby May, the veteran. He brings in Dale Beagle to play keyboards, and Carmen does her tacos. So we got dollar tacos, we got dollar margaritas, you got Bobby...
What more can you ask for at that point?
You can go in there with $5 and have yourself a couple tacos and some margaritas and listen to live music.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Having them enjoy it. Thursdays with the open jam every week. Bringing in artists. Anybody can come in. If you're a singer, a bass player, a guitar player, sax player, violin player, whatever you bring, whatever you play, bring it in. Get up on the stage. Jam out with the guys. Just do your thing. Fridays, Saturdays, we always have live entertainment, full bands, solo artists, duels, DJs. I mean, when you can go to funky blues on a Friday and then go to hip-hop DJ on a Saturday, it's a pretty large spectrum,
And that's what people like. They don't like to be stuck in a rut. And unfortunately, a lot of places out there do that. They stick themselves in a rut. They keep the same type. And you don't get that mixture of entertainment. And there is so much entertainment out there. And, the more I do this, the more I learn. When we did the interview with Mike from Fifth Days, he's part of a theater group. I didn't realize how huge. I mean, I knew there were, things there, but it goes much, much beyond that. And that's what I want to do is bring that. who knows? Maybe someday you could actually have them do a little like Broadway type stage play.
I would love it.
Right there with a couple of.
I'd love it.
I
That'd be
mean,
awesome. Do a Broadway show, do a partial show.
You know,
I would love to do something like that. Just entertainment.
Well,
in general.
the Westgate Dinner Theater is one that comes to mind. Way back when that was open, I don't know if you'd ever had a chance to be there, where you had your dinner and then the stage and then the play came to you essentially at different parts. What about something like that? Maybe even taking it to
that could be
that kind of a level. I mean, not trying to put ideas in your head. Yes, I am.
No, that's.
But it's musical, and again, it's an entertainment that would be different for.
And that's the big difference is you can be a music venue, but I don't want to be a music venue. I want to be an entertainment venue.
There you go.
There's a big difference between musicians and entertainers.
Very much so.
A lot of people can play the guitar, but do you have that stage presence? Zodiac Click, Shar, phenomenal. The only one I know that actually changes her outfit literally between sets.
Yeah.
She never wears the same outfit each set. She always changes, and the crowd loves it. They love the way that she does that. She always brings, customers up on stage and has them sing or play the cowbell or, and that's a big thing for customers to be interacted with the musicians. It's phenomenal. Still Lily, I have coming up this weekend. Phelan, great band, just awesome, but she's so crowd appealing.
Yeah.
People are drawn to her. They want to hear the next song. What's next? What's next?
What's coming up?
It's great.
We got some fans out here. Hello, Miss Mary G. Thank you for tuning in. Thomas Stahl, look at that. There's a name you should recognize.
Yeah, I know that guy.
You think you might know him?
I might.
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like he's talking about our Christmas thing that we do every year, which, it's coming up here soon.
Yeah, it is. It's time to start planning.
Yeah,
for little things like that.
Last year was unbelievable, Mark. I mean, you couldn't. There were so many toys. I mean, toys and just items and gifts and cash. Mm-hmm. I'm talking hundreds, not 10, 20, 30, hundreds.
Right.
Over 100 gifts people brought in. And we donated it to a family, a single mother. She had 5 kids. And to pull up there, and my truck was just packed to the rafters. And to pull up there and to deliver this stuff to that family was just phenomenal. And we're going to do it again this year without a doubt.
I hope so. And
I want everybody to bring something, anything. And just drop it off, bring it in.
What kind of specials can you do to entice people to come in and give a little bit more say than normal? What can we?
We do run our specials, okay. And I ask the people to bring stuff in, and it's just giving from the heart.
This is
it's just
true.
Giving from the heart. Just this time of Christmas time, there's a lot of families. Like I said, this is a single mother, and she's working. It's not like she's not working out employed. No, she's working. But 5 kids. Mark, you got kids, I got kids. We know how
how tough it is, and both of us in our household work, and it's still tough. So it can be very difficult for a single mom. And
but we've ran things, where bring us up in a couple canned goods. I'll buy you a drink or something like that. Just bring it in from the heart. Bring in toys. We had a guy who brought in 2 bicycles last year.
Oh wow!
Didn't want to be known about anything or nothing. He just brought them in and said, "Here, I'm bringing these in." Just dropped them off and left.
Heard about it, said, "Hey, I want to do this." And
heard about it on the news. We were on the news.
Yeah.
He's like, "Wow, I think I'm gonna do something for these guys." I'm like, "This is just phenomenal," But everything from the littlest thing you can bring in to a bicycle, whatever helps. It's phenomenal. Even watching the girls rap and all that stuff. We had a rap party, and literally, all of our customers came in. The Homeboys Motorcycle Club, they came in.
Right.
Those guys came in, and literally, I had the motorcycle club sitting at my pool table rapping gifts. That's phenomenal.
But that's what it's about.
And they're another bar, they're another location, but we're friends. We're all good people, and to have that was phenomenal. For them guys to come over and help out, and that's a lot of gifts to wrap. It was really nice to watch them.
Yeah, I hate
really
rapping.
Cool.
My wife hates it when I rap because I'm meticulous. The corners have to be creased, the edges have to be sharp, and she'll do 3 to my 1.
Well, Mark,
easily.
Come on, Mark, a perfectionist. Imagine
No,
that.
not at all. I would never want to be like that. It means I'd have to do it right all the time.
That's right.
That's no fun.
We have lots of good events coming up for 2019 left. I mean, we're just now turning the halfway point, and fall's our big season. I mean, that's when bars really pick up because kids are back to school. Your fairs, your festivals, your stuff like that's all over with, and they want something to do now. There's no fairs or festivals.
And with Toledo, everything seems to be compact. It's like everything's around you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep up with everything going on. How do you personally get the word out to say, okay, we've got this national artist here downtown, but we're going to go ahead and do this? What do you do to let people know, hey, if you're done, when you're done there or whatever, before you go, stop here, and here's why. What would be?
Yeah, I've actually had a lot of times where people have told me, like, this next upcoming weekend, you know, with the German American Festival, which is a huge festival. You know, can you compete with that? It's a whole weekend event. It's a big event. I don't want to compete. I want people to go there, enjoy themselves at the German American Festival, and then swing by Papa's. We're not going to change. We're still going to have live music on Friday. We're still going to have live music on Saturday. You know, stop by, swing in. You know, there's plenty of people out there.
See, and that's
share.
what I love about your mentality. You're like me. It's not a competition.
No.
You do want to try to gain as many customers as you can.
Absolutely.
But you want to do it in a way that they feel comfortable and they enjoy it, and they'll go out of their way to show up. I know several people that come from a little bit of a distance to hang out and
check out the artists and stuff like that, you know, and bands have their following, and that's what it's about. It's about following. And there's no problem with them following other bands and going to other venues. I've went to other places before.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And, you know, seen other bands. I've been downtown at the venues down there. I've been to the Anchor Inn. I've been to, you know, different places. D&D Roadhouse to see Ryan Pop doing DJ out there, karaoke. You know, and it's a good time. There's nothing wrong with people sharing, you know.
Well, I have found that the more you're open to it, the more you actually gain.
Yeah.
Because if you're not competing with these people, you know, and they'll, like you at your bar, had sat there and talked about other places you go. And that gets people interested. And so if other bar owners and managers and stuff like that do the same thing, they go out and experience what else is it. I think overall it would be better because you're going to diversify your clientele in every corner of the city.
And each bar has their own niche. I mean, each bar has their own things. You know, Papa's used to be a huge biker bar. Not so much anymore. We still have a lot of bikes that come through, but we're turning and trending into more a music venue. And I still love the guys who ride the bikes, but you know, there's Ape Hangers. That's a great, one of Toledo's oldest biker bars there is. It's a great venue. It's a great place to go. And when they're done there, they can come down to Papa's and you know, enjoy Papa's. But there's so many bars, so many different niches and cliques and, you know, stuff like that. Enjoy them all.
Well, I've noticed myself, being in the entertainment industry as long as I have, people no longer go to a bar and stay.
No.
The majority don't anymore. They bar hop.
Yeah.
They go from establishment to establishment to establishment. And they spread, you know, that out throughout the weekend and stuff like that. And I think your establishment really welcomes that.
Yeah.
You want the couple that's down the street that normally goes out here, hey, just swing by. Even if you only have one drink, just come meet us.
Yeah, it's weird how sometimes people will come in with, you know, another bar's t-shirt on or something like that, and they're like, you know, like, oh, you know, I didn't mean to wear this. Why?
Well, you're right.
Why? They're another bar. They're another business.
Well, because what they're going to do, and when you treat them like that, they're going to go back to their home bar or wherever they normally, and they're going to say, wow, I just went here with this shirt, and this is how they treated me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the feeling you want to give the people when they come in, and then when they go out.
Yeah, it just leave them with a positive, you know, good
that
feeling.
That wow factor of
enjoyment.
These people are just open to everything that can come through the door.
Yeah,
and,
it's our customers are amazing. I mean, it's just over the 13 years, like I said, this month is a 13-year anniversary.
Right.
And we're going to have the big, huge party, full-blown. Gary's going to cook out in the grill. I mean, we're going to have all kinds of food for free, not for charging, for free.
Right.
And Masfina's great, awesome band. We got our girls, Lisa, and they're all going to do the test tube shots.
Right.
So we're going to have dollar shots, all kinds of beer specials. I'm going to give stuff away, T-shirts and hats and hoodies and koozies and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, that's when everybody's going to come together. And it's great after 13 years to still have, you know, that hardcore, you know, clientele that comes in and just enjoys themselves.
Now, along with our local artists, you've had a few acts that have kind of been out of the area come through. And talk a little bit of how you get with them and how you're able to wrangle them in the plane.
I've had artists that have been, you know, what they call on tour, and a lot of artists do. They come up. Ryan Dunlap's a good one, for instance. He's mainly located in Florida. Right. Which seems like, wow, Florida's like 1,300 miles away. But he does the East Coast tour, so when he comes up and through, he'll stop by and, you know, he'll come to Papa's and he'll play. Sister Otis, very great musician. Her manager actually got a hold of me and was like, hey, we're coming through your town. We'd love to stop in there and play. And I love grabbing them artists that are, you know, something different, something that's not in the normal Toledo area. I mean, obviously, Papa's is a smaller place. We can't get Willie Nelson to play, you know.
You never know.
You never know.
I mean, there have been some of them guys that have gone into the smallest little corner bar.
Yeah.
and performed. Bruce Springsteen has done it. Actually, Toby Keith has popped in. Kenny Urban.
Yeah.
Keith
You never
Urban,
know. I
and
mean, you'd be surprised
exactly.
some of the artists that pop in. Even
And
Crystal occasionally has popped in
Right.
without anybody even knowing it.
Right.
You know?
And those are the fun times
Yeah.
because the minute they walk through the door, of course, everybody in technology, they're on their phone. Guess who's here?
Technology moves it fast, word of mouth, and
And I think they rely on that too. In all
Yeah.
reality, I think that's how we're getting
Yeah.
some of this information out
well,
there.
they've all learned it. I mean, when you can go on tour like that, and you
Yeah.
know you're playing 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week, up and down the coast, you know it's phenomenal. Like I said, Dominique Hutchinson, she just came back from Vegas, lives in Nashville. The girl goes
Mm-hmm.
to music venues all over the United States, and it's phenomenal that I've had her at my establishment playing
Right.
on my stage. You know,
Right.
It's phenomenal.
So when are you going on tour with your act?
I was thinking about it, Mark, but I think I'd stick local here.
You're gonna stay local.
Yeah, wife wants me to stay around here. You know, I got to take care of the house and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I couldn't do it without my wife. I give it
Hey.
my utmost of love to my wife, Lisa Stahl. She's been beside me from day one, and
Mm.
you know, it's a lot. It's a lot for a wife
yeah.
to put up with. You know, the constant always. When you own a business, you're there. You're there. You're on call 24/7, and it still cracks me up to this day. A lot of people will go, "Oh, you got it so easy. You don't have to really do nothing. You don't work at all." Because I only tend bar on Monday and Tuesday
Right.
mornings. That's it. But people think that that's all it is unlocking a door. It's not. It really to put together all these events and
Right.
you know, to marketing, calendars, inventory. It's a lot of work to run a bar correctly.
That's why I tell everybody with our business, the DJ business, I'm just the face.
Yeah.
Tracy does all the behind the scenes that you don't
Yeah.
see. That is really, really important and imperative to what I do when I get out there, you know. And,
Yeah, I mean,
and
you
do
do an
my
awesome
show.
job DJing and your band, but you don't understand how much me and Tracy have to keep in contact with each other. Hey, we've got this date, that
Exactly.
date. Do you want the band? Do you want karaoke? Well, we're gonna
Yep.
do this on this, and you know,
It's a constant back and forth
Yeah.
of what's open, what's needed, you know.
yeah, what's needed
you
for what
know,
dates, and
what's going on at that point. So, and that's something I think people need to realize. It's not all sugar coated on the front side.
no, owning a bar is kind of almost like having a party every single day of the week that
Yeah.
you can't party at. You know, I
Yeah.
can't go in there and get sloppy drunk 7 days a week because I'm in charge and responsible for all that. So it's like having a big party,
Right.
but not being able to drink.
Being the responsible
Being the
one.
responsible one. I got to
Being
make
the
sure that everybody's
responsible
having a
one.
good time and the coolers are stocked. I mean, you've seen with Fifth Ace. I mean, we had
Oh, I know.
100 people in there this past Friday night. Somebody's got to stock them coolers. Somebody's got to take out the garbage, you know. So while everybody's enjoying themselves, having fun, me and Lisa's walking around the tables, picking up bottles, you know. It's a lot of work, but it was well worth it. Everybody loved it. Have a great time. That's what it's all about.
Well, hopefully we'll get more than another 13 years. We'll keep this going as long as
I
it
hope
can.
so.
And speaking of which, as long as you've had it,
You never know. There could be a Papa's too.
there you
You never
go.
know.
In my neck of the woods.
There are other sides of town.
The history of the bar
Yes.
has a long one.
Yeah. We're only 6 years shy right now. The bar was opened up in 1926. That's
Wow.
when the bar was open. So we're 6 years short of 100 years.
100 years. Original building.
Originally building. We actually have furniture in there, some of the tables and some of the
Mm-hmm.
chairs that we have photos from the early to mid 50s. And these are still the chairs, still the tables that are sitting in there. There's 3 green tables that go back by the stage area. Those were there
Okay.
from the mid 50s.
Wow. The tin ceiling
Yes.
is one of the original.
Yeah, all tin ceiling.
All tin
and,
ceiling.
You know, over the years before the smoking ban, people smoked like crazy in there.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
ceiling, it's not painted. That's pure nicotine.
I know.
And it's a thing
Excuse me.
for people to talk about when they come in. They talk about the tin ceiling, how
Mm.
old and nostalgic. I've got pictures of a horse. Somebody literally brought a horse in the bar.
I think I've seen that. You posted that,
Yeah.
I believe, to social media, and
Yeah.
and that's what things have changed, but they haven't changed.
No. It
You
was
know?
weird because when I first bought the bar and I got my business cards, you know, that's what I put on my business cards. Same great place, just with new energy.
There you go.
And it is. It's the same
Oh,
great
yeah,
place.
and
The
you've
back
done
bar
it-
is all original. That's
Yeah.
back from the 20s.
Well, that's a cast iron or a stove that sits
Yeah.
back there, right? And
Yeah.
That's been around.
That's been around for a long time.
Hopefully, you never have to move it.
No, that would be really rough to get out of there. That thing's big and heavy. But yeah, I mean, there's so much nostalgia to the building itself that's still there. The opening for the beer, when they used to back in the day, when the ice trucks would come in, the beer trucks, they weren't trucks
Right.
with motors and engines.
No,
These were
they
on
weren't.
ice. And there's the big doors that you open up, and that's where they would load the beer through to
Right.
go to the basement and the cooler area. That's still all accessible and still open. I mean,
Now that's cool.
it's phenomenal, some of the history. Then just imagine all the different artists and entertainment over the years. You're talking almost 100 years of customers coming in and out that door.
And it's in a neighborhood. That's
Yeah.
the remarkable thing about
Yeah,
it.
we're not on no main street. We're not on Alexis Road. We're not on a strip mall.
Right.
We're literally about 2-3 blocks back in the middle
Right.
of the Ironwood district on the east side.
Now, have you found that sometimes it's difficult then for new people to come find you because they're not expecting you to be literally the corner bar of the neighborhood?
It is tough, but I think with technology, we just had some guys come through who were on a bike run from New York to Minnesota,
Okay.
and then back to New York, and they came in, and with technology, all you gotta do is Google.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you can Google. I did it before when I've been on vacations, different places, bars close to me. But yeah, it is weird because the way the streets are set up and the way they change names here and there. But people find us. We're there.
Mm. Now, you didn't name Papa's Tavern. You purchased the name.
Yep.
And before you had it, the owner prior to you had the Papa's Pizza across the street.
Yes, he did.
I've personally been asked, because I know you so well, why you didn't continue with that portion of the business. Was it something that you just didn't quite want to
Well, originally, as
do,
far
or,
back as I
or
could
was
go,
it separated at point of sale, or how did that work out where you didn't acquire the pizza and
well, I just couldn't do fast food anymore. I just really didn't. Fast
You were
food's a
burned
whole-
out
Yeah,
at that
burned
point.
out of fast
Okay.
food. But as far back as I could tell, originally back in the late 40s,
Mm-hmm.
it used to be a place called Helen's. A lady named Helen had owned it, and then Helen had changed it to the Big Inn.
I've seen those posts about the
Back in
yeah.
the 50s and 60s, Big Inn was happy, festive.
Right.
And from what I've heard, she was a very festive and happy person and ran it really, with just a bright spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jim Highmore had purchased it from Helen, and actually a gentleman named Andrew had purchased it with them, the two of them. So it was actually called Papa Drew's.
Really?
Yes. For a short period of time, it was
Okay.
called Papa Drew's for about 2-3 years. And at that time, Andrew just didn't want to do it anymore, and he sold his part out to Jim Highmore, who at that time was Papa.
Okay.
And again, when I worked for the previous company I did for 11 years, my company was bought out by a smaller company. They chose to continue to use the larger, more pronounced name.
Right.
And I didn't want to confuse people. I didn't want to confuse customers. I didn't want to change the name. Like I said, my business cards, it's the same great place, just no
Right.
energy. So I left the name the same.
So, and was that something that was again established at the point of sale?
Yeah,
from-
that I would get your
that
name and
he would
continue to use
allow
that
you to
name.
continue to use that name.
Yeah,
and
and-
you've done it justice.
I've tried. I tried to do
You've
the
done
best I could. And yeah, some bars were always known for that bar. Rusty's
Right.
Tavern, it burnt down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that was Rusty's. You can't
Right.
change the name of something that's been there for that many years. I mean, it's just, it's kind of like the sports arena went down. It was a sad day in Toledo. I mean,
Very.
there's a lot of history that goes into Toledo. Toledo, is just a blue-collar, hard-working, great
Yep.
town, and the history is what makes or breaks businesses. I want to keep Papa's as, we've been there 13 years.
Historically accurate pace and
Let's
possible.
go, let's go another 13 and 13 after that.
And 13 after that.
Yeah, keep going.
We'll keep you around that long.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk to?
No, I just
Anybody- and-
really hope that everybody, really, listens to this podcast, take it in, because there's a lot of entertainment,
Very
artists,
much so.
venues. It's a great outlet for Toledo itself, and a lot of the smaller establishments like myself and Corinne, them places we don't get the publicity that the Huntington Center, Hinsville, the Hollywood Casino. We don't get a
Right.
lot of what the bigger venues get. I mean, we still have the same artist, Beastie Boys, Imposters in Effect.
Right.
They just did a back-to-back show at the Huntington Center, or not the Huntington
No,
Center,
at
but Hollywood
the
Casino.
Hollywood Casino, yeah.
Packed, unbelievable. Those guys were playing at Papa's Tavern right on the same stage.
I know.
Music
I
just
ran
like-
sound for him.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope everybody goes out. If
Yeah.
not to Papa's, go out to any music venue. Check out the bands. Check out the artists. Support your local businesses.
Absolutely. And hopefully you'll do the same by talking to some of the other owners that you know, and we can do the same thing. Get them in
Absolutely.
here. Get them, a little bit more exposure in a different way. And what's nice about what we do here with YouTube is we're worldwide.
Yeah.
We're not just, Ohio or just the U.S. We've actually got people that do tune in on occasion that are from the U.K.
Yeah, I've had people from the UK. I've mailed
So-
Papa's Tavern shirts to people in the UK before.
So
Go
you know,
worldwide.
if they're coming over for vacation or family gathering or something,
Yeah.
and they happen to be in the neighborhood, they'll know where to go.
Exactly.
And that's the purpose of the show, is you can go through the old videos, you can see the different places and see the different artists that we're going to have on. And we've done very well with the bookings in a very short time. The show is, what, 3 weeks old?
Yeah.
4 weeks old. And we're booked through the middle of September.
Awesome.
And I want to keep booking people. Don't take that as a, no, we want to keep this thing going. I'd like to, by November, be booked into January.
Nice.
And that's what I would
great.
like to do, and have more people come in. Tim, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Is there anything else that you'd like to
No, I
add?
think we're good. I really appreciate the time, and hopefully everybody,
Give yourself a radio plug here. Where are you at, and who are you?
Papa's Tavern, east side of Toledo, 1328 Liberty Street.
There you go.
I am Tim Stahl.
Tim Stahl, thank you
Thank you,
very
Mark.
much. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank you all for stopping in and checking us out here at Glass City Podcast. This is what we do. This is why we're here. Get young gentlemen like Tim Stahl. I call him young, but we won't go there. But to get the word out. Let's get the word out. You know a lot of great bands. I know a lot of great bands.
Yep.
We've had a few of them already on the show, and hopefully we'll get many more.
That would be great.
Make sure you keep showing up and checking us out every Sunday live here at the Glass City Podcast at CMB Production Studios. I am Cowboy Mark. This has been Tim Stahl. You guys have yourself a great Sunday, and keep it